our food, our economies, our cities and our communities, they are all adapted to the climate we currently live in. With a rapid increase in population, the demand of the forest services is at its highest peak. But what if the climate changes too fast for us to keep up? ACT, a local non-governmental organization, through her project called Changieni Rasilimali, is at the heart of changing the course in climate change.
Climate change being a cross-cutting issue because it touches nearly to majority of the sectors of the economy. It affects agriculture, it affects environment, it affects energy. So you will find that majority of the partners that we are working with under the Changieni Rasilimali facility are touching somehow on climate change, either in agriculture, water issues, or land, and so on. Key intervention, first of all, that all the climate change partners who are engaging in is creating awareness through different channels.
ACT, Transform and Change organization is working closely with local grassroots non-state actors in a race to respond to the impacts of climate change. It focuses on methods of mitigating the effects of climate change, as well as helping communities to adapt and develop resilience in this new phenomenon that is fast becoming a reality. Changieni Rasilimali program is funded by the Swedish government and Department for International Development (UK) and through ACT they have given grants to these organizations and helped them strengthen their organization capacity.
We received trainings on advocacy, we received training on good governance, we received training on financial management and reporting.
Through the program we are supporting the drafting of environmental laws in some of the counties, and we are hoping that those laws if County X develops those laws, County Y can come in and learn from what County X has done, and have similar laws in their own county.
Many of the bills that have been done, many of the laws and policies that have been done, they have been done in Nairobi. But this is high time, and this is in the spirit of the devolution, to involve the communities there as we do the various policies.
Climate change is commonly used interchangeably with global warming and the greenhouse effect. Climate change refers to the buildup of man-made greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that trap the sun's heat, causing changes in weather patterns on a global scale. The effects of such changes include, among others, changes in rainfall patterns.
We have been experiencing rampant changes in rainfall patterns. Some places experiencing high rainfall, other parts experiencing very low rainfall or none at all. We have serious issues of disasters which have come about because of trees, or the tree cover has gone down. Actually, the county enjoys 13 permanent rivers, and all of them, the water volumes have gone down. So this is a serious issue. We've also had people reporting some funny diseases which never used to exist before, which we are attributing to climate change.
But even more worrying is that our hydro energy dependent economies cannot function properly because of low levels of water at electricity production dams. Turbines will not turn enough to give electricity that is sufficient to support a faster growing economy like Kenya. Since the age of Industrial Revolution, the effect of additions of greenhouse gases, among them carbon dioxide and methane, to the atmosphere has been about 10 times compared to that of changes in the sun's output, a natural phenomenon, thus making the Earth planet to be warmer than usual, bringing with it persistent drought.
Tuseme kuanzia mwaka wa 74 kuja mpaka mwaka wa 78 hapo katikati msitu bado ulikuwako. Lakini kuanzia mwaka wa 78 mpaka mahali tuliko saa hizi msitu uliingiliwa na wachomaji wa makaa.
On the other hand, while it was easier some decades ago to predict a drought year, mostly once in every 10 years, where such predictions helped communities to accurately tell when it will occur and so prepare adequately for challenges brought by drought, today drought has become unpredictable and happens too often and takes longer than it used to be, causing food and water shortages.
Tulikuwa na chemichemi za maji area hii, zote zilikauka. Tulikuwa na damu ambaye zilikuwa zimechimbwa na wabeberu hazikuwa zinakaukanga, na saa hizi vile tunaongea hivi maji hata ifikishi Januari.
Globally led scientists and climate watch groups estimate that by 2050, global demand for water and food will nearly double. Yet the latest research shows that climate change is already disrupting growing seasons in many parts of the world, and the situation will only get worse. But there is still hope.
We had noticed that our farmers were year in, year out having problems with the planting of maize. It was failing, majorly due to climate change. We sought to intervene in the area of food security using indigenous food crops, which were drought resistant. We picked cassava, we picked millet, and we picked sorghum to work with. And we extended now from Machakos and Kitui to even Makueni County. Families are able to feed themselves. They are able to have surplus to sell and develop themselves.
Kabla tuyapanda mioko kulikuwa tu na matatizo, sababu watu hakuna nini, hakuna chochote, hakuna hata viazi tamu, hatukukuwa tukipanda. Ukiwa una mioko, hakuna njaa inaweza kuingia kwa boma yako hata kitoko. Hakuna.
The pastoralists too have been counting huge losses as millions of their animals perish due to lack of water and pasture. Poverty thrives in many places, and if relief food doesn't reach people in good time, we count losses of lives. On the flip side, there are also trends of too much rain after drought and famine, causing floods that cause massive soil erosion that degrade land severely and create gullies in productive lands. Soil erosion also destroys roads and rail infrastructure. A while back, it was easy to predict the average amount of rain for a given season, be it long rains or short rains. That has been the cause of huge economic losses.
Currently, we don't have enough food because of the distorted patterns of rainfall. Population is increasing, but the food supply is low because of climate change. So it is important that we came here so that we can create awareness on climate change and also food security so that we can improve the amount of food that is being produced in the area.
Tree is Life, a local NGO, has been working with the locals under the Changieni Rasilimali facility to slow down the destruction of forests and with it climate change by introducing energy-saving technologies.
Kulingana na zile kuni nilikuwa natumia beleni, nilikuwa natumia mikokoteni 3 kwa miezi 3. Lakini kwa miezi 3 sasa, kwa lile jiko ninatumia mkokoteni 1.
As the household reduces pressure and uses less amount of fuel wood, they also can rear their chicken using that brood an income. This is in a way to try and motivate people not to entirely depend on the wood from the forests.
Climate change has also been caused by human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels. The dominant product of fossil fuel combustion is carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas. Clearing of forests to support agriculture also causes transfer of carbon dioxide from living biomass into the atmosphere. Dry wood has about 50% carbon. Carbon dioxide, methane and other greenhouse gases occur naturally, trapping heat in the atmosphere and keeping Earth's climate stable. But human activities over the last few centuries have released greenhouse gases at levels that are destabilizing the climate far too quickly for human institutions and the species they rely on to keep up.
Hii eneo kabla hatujaanza kupanda miti ilikuwa ni kama mbea, haikuwa na chochote. Hata miti ilikuwa hakuna. Lakini tulipoanza kupanda miti imebadilika. Area ni green, maji imeongezeka, streams zimekuwa na maji, kumekuwa na a lot of flowers. Kwa hivyo tukaona ni lazima tuweke mizinga ndio tuwe tukipata income kutoka kwa asali.
Most of Kenya's forest areas are highly threatened by ongoing deforestation. These areas are rich in biodiversity and are critical water catchment areas which supply water for local communities. But even more worrying is the fact that illegal settlers have been clearing land for agriculture, reducing wildlife habitat and destroying forests.
Tulikuta msitu kubwa. Wazee ikafieka. In 1969 ikakuwa hakuna miti hata moja. Maji alikuwa anapomoa maponde, alikuwa anapomoa njia, sababu hakuna mizizi ambayo anaweza kuzuia maji asibebe mchanga.
The fate of the one and only planet we've ever called home is uncertain. It is in everyone's interest to come together to address the challenges we face.
Tukaonelea hii tabu inaingia sisi. Tukaenda kwa kanisa kujifunza watu tupande miti. Miti imemea, imekuwa msitu ile ya Mungu.
Forests act as carbon sinks, that is, the trees absorb carbon from the atmosphere. This ability is becoming more important with the increase in carbon dioxide in our atmosphere and fears of this increase contributing to climate change and global warming.
Tumepanda miti, tukafanya msitu yetu huku nje na tukapata kuni. Tumefundishwa jinsi ya kufuka nyuki. Nyuki inachukua asali kutoka forest na tunapata manufaa hayo ya kupata asali.
Wundanyi in Taita County at the coast.
Tuliweza kwenda kushirikiana.
A forum organized by VSO for the people living with disability is on. This is just one of the many that they have had.
When we came to Wundanyi, there was no link. These organizations used to work independently, but when we were able to share with them, they were able to come together, and that integration has been seen among the people in Wundanyi, and they are working together to champion for the right of persons with disability. And currently they are participating in a number of policy dialogue at the county level.
So far, so good. There exists best practices in climate mitigation, adaptation, and creating resilience. The many lessons learned will go a long way in replicating such efforts widely across Kenya.